Creep night, sure to send a chill down your spine. Welcome to Creep Night. Sickness comes in many forms, but what if that sickness overtakes you? My name is Jane, and I'm 30 years old. I'm telling you this because of the events that are happening around the world. First, it was COVID, and we survived that. At least some of us did. Then something else happened. Something even more strange and dangerous. It started with our water, and then the food supply. The animals around us started changing too. The air grew thick and smog-like. A sickness unlike the world had ever seen before hit us, like a nuclear storm. The time is 12:34 a.m. now, and I'm still wide awake, looking over my shoulder. After the sickness hit, people began to change as well. If you can't hear them at this moment, I will describe it to you. It's a cross between a yell, almost as if a wild cat is roaming and roaring at the midnight light. I stayed pretty well hidden, with all the lights off, in fear of getting attention from them. 1 a.m. I'm beginning to become more paranoid. Sounds of those things are getting louder and closer. I hope I have not let any sign of them knowing I'm out here. God knows what would happen if they got in. I'm curled up in a corner, waiting for the daylight to hit. That is the only time I feel safe. They do not like the light. My God, they're at the door. I can hear them now. I'm trying to stay as still as I can be, trying not to make any noise. I pray they go away. I'm covering my ears in hopes of blocking out the sounds. The time is now 2:30 a.m. The sounds have ceased. I didn't know how sweet the sound of silence can be. It seems like those things have moved on from here for now. I don't know how long I can stay locked up in this house without them noticing me. As I continue to wait, I notice something. My food supply is running a little low, which means in the morning, I'm gonna have to go out scavenging for food and water. I think I'll sleep now. I quickly snapped out of my slumber. I did not dare move. They're back again. I know they are, looking for me. I must remain still, because if they see me, I'll become one of them. I wish the god-awful howling would stop. My head is hurting. The howling is like a sonic boom, blasting my head, almost like they're trying to drill into my skull, trying to affect my brain. 4 a.m. The howling stopped. There's 2 hours and 15 minutes till sunrise. If I can make it that long, maybe now I can fall back asleep for a while. Finally, the sun has risen. I will have to make this quick. Today, I have to go scavenging for food. I hope I make it back. I know during the sickness, a lot of the stores, if not all, were wiped out of a lot of supplies. First it was the toilet paper and the wipes, then water. It looked like a nut house. If only the people knew how bad this situation was going to get, I believe toilet paper would have been the last things on their mind. If I had been smart before all of this sickness came down, I would have planted my own stocked up on water. Build a better shelter far, far away from all of this. But I didn't. And now I'm stuck. 8 a.m. I spent 2 hours scavenging for food. And all the things that I need. It feels like every time I go out there to rebuild the supplies, the city looks worse. And very few supplies are left. I'm grateful I made it back. I've decided to get more sleep since last night. My sleep was filled with things trying to get me. I slept a long time. The time is now 2 p.m. I figured since I'd slept a long time, I better start with making sure my house was boarded up still well. Walking into the back room, I noticed one of the boarded up windows had been coming loose. I quickly rehammered the window. I checked all of the doors as well. So far, everything is sturdy. 5 p.m. I'm beginning to grow weary for the dark to come, knowing for a fact those things will come back, and I will once again have to fight myself to keep still and quiet. The rapping on the windows and doors began to grow louder, almost to the point where it began to become unbearable. So much so that I almost got up and ran. I had to remind myself that those things were out there when I did imagine to calm down and lay back down. Nights are getting harder to stay calm with each passing moment. One of those things could get in here, and then what? I'll tell you what. They would get me. That is for sure. My anxieties have gotten worse. Every night, it's 8 p.m. is the worst time of them all. That is when they all start to come out of their hibernations. At this point, they're hungry, and I know. The neighbor down the street was a prime example of how hungry those things can get. Jed had been running from a group of those things. I could hear him screaming for help, but I had been too afraid to get out there and help him. Before I knew it, one of those beasts had jumped on him. I did not dare look out the window, so I'm not 100% sure what exactly happened to him, but I could hear his screams. The time is now 10 p.m. I can hear them very clearly now. It seems like the darker it gets, the louder those things become. 12 a.m. I heard a loud crashing sound coming from the bedroom. I'm unsure if one of those things got inside. Now, this is... if they have, then I'm as good as gone. 2 a.m. I went to the bedroom to check the noise, and maybe I shouldn't have. Now I'm infected with the sickness, and it won't be long until I become one of those creatures. 3 a.m. I can feel my body begin its changing. I know my mind is becoming clouded, and it is becoming intensively hard to concentrate on what I'm supposed to tell you. If you see the creatures, avoid them, because now, as I talk, I'm transforming into a werewolf. It goes to show you can't always avoid the sickness, because eventually it might just get you in the end. Thank you for listening to Creep Night.